first day of spookathon. So I'm going to be doing another vlog, or attempting to. I don't know if this will be successful or not, but this is a really awesome time of year. October is like my favorite month. I just wanted to briefly go over the books that I wanted to be reading. I'm going to also be reading some books for school, and I'm not going to talk about them because I don't want to bore you. So for spookathon, there are about 6 or 7 prompts, and I have about 3 books that I want to read this week. The first book I will be reading is on audio, and it is called The Hunger by Amakatsu. I will be reading this on audiobook just because I wanted to have something to kind of mix it up a little bit. This fulfills the challenges for reading a thriller, having a spooky setting, a book that I wouldn't normally pick up. So this is kind of marketed as like part thriller, horror, part historical fiction. I'm not 100% sure how much thrillerness will be in this book. It's about this group of people, and there are monsters out in the wilderness that they have to escape from. So there's a little bit of like paranormal stuff in there that I'm excited to read about, but it is set in like the past. I don't know how far back it goes, but it is considered historical fiction, so it's something I wouldn't normally pick up. The next book that I'll be reading is Behind the Moon by Madison Smart Bell. This is a book that really caught my eye because it looks spooky, and it fulfills a prompt of having read on the cover and spooky word in the title, and I guess you could say moon is a spooky word. So this book is basically about a girl and her group of friends that skip school and like go out into like the boonies to kind of cause a ruckus. And the main character gets lost and ends up falling down into the cave, like the underground cave, and gets lost, and there's some spooky stuff happening. I figured that this would be appropriate because being trapped in a cave, an underground cave, is like, it's one of my greatest fears. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this because most people I feel like are pretty claustrophobic, especially when it's like underground, and it's a relatively short book, so I figure that I will be able to get through this. The next book that I will be reading this week is No Exit by Taylor Adams. A lot of people have been talking about this book. I'm really excited to read it. I was originally going to read it for Night Marathon, but this is due tomorrow, so this will be like the first book that I'll be reading this week. This is basically about a girl who is trapped at a rest stop during a snowstorm, and she finds this like, I think, kidnapped child or something in the trunk of a car, and she's trapped with like this small group of people at the rest stop and has no idea who might have kidnapped that kid, who is basically like doing this. So yeah, those are all the books that I'm planning on reading this week. Hopefully it goes well and I get thoroughly spooked. I'm gonna go ahead and go. This clip is long enough as it is. I will see you guys later. Hi there. So it's been a while. Yesterday and today ended up being really busy. Sorry that I literally look like a potato. I am about halfway through No Exit by Taylor Adams, and it's okay. It's not like amazing or anything. It's like right in the middle of like a pretty tense scene where the character is like basically running away in a sense, just to be like kind of vague, because this is set in like a secluded area, and she found this child in the van and is trying to figure out who did it. She kind of figured out who did it, and then some stuff happened and she's like, I'm pretty sure other people have said the same thing. I think that this would be a really good movie. I think that it actually kind of reminds me of Riley Sager. I'm currently in the middle of his book, Final Girls, and just like the writing is kind of similar. The way it's written just kind of reminds me of it. So far, I really like it. I'm going to try to hunker down and finish this tonight. Wow. Okay, so I just finished my first book for spookathon, and wow, that was a ride, literally, because it's a rest stop. Wow. That was actually really good. So the first part was kind of slow going because I had to set up different things, but wow, the twists, like you can really tell that the author really worked hard on making this story like really intelligent and catch people off guard. Yeah, I love this. I don't know, like I felt like all of the characters, they're all really well developed. You kind of got to see into almost everybody's head, see their motivations, where they came from. I felt like the setting maybe was like its weakest point because I couldn't visualize it very well, but that might have just been like me because I don't know. I just like, there's certain things that were described and I couldn't like visualize it. That's like really the only thing. I mean, if you're looking for a nice, like good thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seat, definitely recommend No Exit because wow, I give this 5 stars. Honestly, I'm surprised by how much I like this. I'm gonna go ahead and say I can't give it 5 stars. Honestly, I just finished, so I'm not totally sure what I would rate it, but for right now, I would say about 4.5. Like I said, there were some things about the setting that was not super clear, even though it's literally set at a rest stop. I couldn't really visualize it. I'm gonna stop talking. So for the rest of the night, I am not sure what I want to read, but I'm thinking about making some like nice hot tea. Maybe I'll watch a movie. I haven't been watching very many scary movies, and like what better time is there to do that than now? Even this is a reading vlog. I don't know, what the heck. Let's make this a movie vlog too. So I'm going to browse through Netflix, maybe watch a scary movie, and then I might start this tomorrow. We'll see where the night takes us. Hi guys, I'm still recovering from being sick, so I look and sound a little funky. I did finish No Exit by Taylor Adams. I still really liked it. I think I'm gonna stick with a 4-star because there were some cheesy moments, okay, but it worked. I still think that the characters were really well developed. Like for a thriller, you get a lot of information about the kidnapper and a lot of information about like the people and the main character, obviously. I still really think that it should be a movie, so. audio is literally poop. I did not bring my microphone, so there's that. I'm also filming in my car in the parking lot of my university. So earlier today, I went to the library, but I thought the library book sale was today, and it's actually tomorrow. So while I was at the library, I did get a couple things. I did get like 3 books and like a couple of movies. The 3 books that I did get are If Cats Disappeared from the World. This one obviously reminded me a lot of the Traveling Cat Chronicle, but it does follow a man who is like slowly losing his memory and his bond with a cat that he kind of befriends. The second book that I got was Before She Sleeps. This is like a sci-fi dystopian novel about a world where women overpopulate the men, and in this society the men still like control the women, and the women are forced to have multiple husbands. It does follow them like breaking out from that and starting like a revolution. And then the next book that I have, this is Pursuit by Joyce Carol Oates, a novel of suspense. I've never read Joyce Carol Oates before. I've always been interested in reading her books, but I figure since this is like a scary book and like obviously it's spooky season, y'all. And then as far as like reading, I am currently on like chapter 4 or 5 of The Hunger, and I actually am starting to like really like the vibe and like the atmosphere. I wasn't totally sure where this was set at, and it's set in America in like the 1800s when they're all going to California to get land. It opened up with, I don't know if this is technically a spoiler, there was a young boy who died and was like horribly disfigured in a way that was like, there's no way an animal would do that. And they're like blaming the like Indians, the Native Americans, and they're maybe suspecting that somebody in their group is doing this. So pretty interested so far. I listened to it while I was walking around on campus, and just the way the author described how like cold and windy it was, I really felt that because it's windy as shit right now. We back. So I just got home. I have some gas station coffee. I went to put Behind the Moon as currently reading on Goodreads, and it has like a 3.12. I'm scared because that's not a good rating. But don't worry, I don't have that much self-control because I did peek at a couple of reviews. This is apparently a fever dream, and it's not really about her being trapped in a cave like I thought it was. That does happen in the book, but she gets hurt down there and goes into like a coma or something like that, and has really weird fever dreams about being down there still. So the big like plot is to try to wake her up from that. So it's kind of like a really weird psychological thing, and it kind of scares me because that reminds me of Cabin at the End of the World, which I hated. I hope that this isn't gonna be like that. So I am about 66 pages into Behind the Mood, and I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. The writing is very descriptive but also very vague at the same time, so I can already see why people don't really like this. I was wrong about the description. I feel like I should be giving any descriptions for any books ever because I always get something wrong. It really is about a girl and her friend meeting these group of like 3 guys, and this isn't a spoiler, and they go out into like the desert to go camping for some reason. It's not explained why they go out together. I mean, I hope it'll be explained later on in the novel, but I just am like so confused. It's like, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, it's said in the synopsis, but her best friend like gets drugged. Well, they both get drugged. The main character's name is Julia, and her best friend is named Karen, I believe. And so Karen gets drugged, but gets put into like a tent with like the other two boys, and gets sexually assaulted. It's very vague about like what's happening. I think that they're recording her or something like that. Like, these guys are bad news. Julia was like taken away from it by a different guy that I guess knew what was going to happen, but like didn't want her involved for some reason. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. So I am really not feeling this book at all. So I'm just gonna watch a movie instead. What's up? I've never been to a library book sale before, and I thought that they would only sell like old library books, but I actually found a couple actual books without the plastic cover on them. I actually found a really nice paperback copy of The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. I've heard pretty good things about this one. I've heard a lot of really good things about her newest book, Turn of the Key. But this one also kind of intrigued me, and this only cost 50 cents, so even if I hate it, it was 50 cents. So I like gothic scary stories, so I wanted to check this out, and I'm super pumped that I found this. I'm like 100 pages into Behind the Moon. I'm just gonna DNF it. Now I need to figure out a different book to replace that one. That's my boyfriend's, yeah. It's dirty, I know. So I'm actually thinking about picking up Pursuit by Joyce Carol Oates. I'm gonna make some hot tea, and I wanna start this. I'm literally reading in a reading vlog. I'm reading Pursuit, and the main like wife character just says something really creepy. Living in a body, that is the joke. So it's really late, and I'm about a third of the way through Pursuit, and it's okay. It's going a lot better than Behind the Moon, but I'm not really scared or anything. It's really just a strange story. Basically, it's about a wife who the morning after she gets married walks into traffic, but you learn more about her and about her husband, and it's like mildly interesting, but it's nothing spectacular. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. So today I'm going to go to school and get some homework done, and then after that I will be reading some more of Pursuit by Joyce Carol Oates. I feel like that I could probably finish this today actually, and while I should be feeling like really successful because of that, because I'm like completing a second book for the readathon, the book is just so. I feel like reading No Exit was a mistake because it was like my most anticipated book, so it just kind of like ruined everything else. But it was due at the library, so I had to return it. Also, I just realized that this is probably the last time that I'm gonna update you all day because after school, I have to go like immediately to work. Hello? Oh. Is that another cat? Oh my gosh. Okay. What I was saying was I have work later and I am leaving straight from school right to work. I am hoping to go to silent disco with a friend tonight, and if you don't know what silent disco is, it's basically like it sounds really silly, but you put headphones on and you turn to like 3 different like music channels,
it would be like old school R&B, EDM music, or just like popular like pop songs. And so you can change which station you listen to, but there's no like music playing. It's all stuff that you can hear. So you can dance and like listen to your own stuff, but like if you take it off, like everybody is like singing. It's really kind of fun, even though it sounds really weird. So I'm hoping to do that tonight. If it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna keep this clip in, so I'll just cut it out. I'm also kind of thinking about starting, you know what? This is why I never do TBR videos. Wow, I look really awful. Should I put makeup on? No. Wearing the same sweatshirt I've been wearing for like 4 days. So I finished Pursuit by Joyce Carol Oates, and I'm gonna give it 3 stars. If you're sensitive to spousal abuse and really just physical sexual abuse at all, I really do not recommend reading this. It says that this is a novel of suspense, but I would characterize it as a novel of dread, and I don't know if this technically would qualify as like a thriller, really. There is like a sense of mystery because you're trying to figure out the story of Abby's parents, Abby, the main character, who is having these reoccurring horrible dreams of finding like bones and skeletons. And like walking among them. So there is that sense of mystery there. The first part is kind of boring. By the middle part, I felt really invested in the story, and it really picked up from there. I gave it 3 stars, but that doesn't mean that I didn't like it. I thought the writing was very plain, and this is the first time I've ever read anything by Oates before, so I don't know if this is like common, but there seemed to be a lot of like telling and no showing, a lot of explication. Is that the right word? Like characters explaining a lot of things. And like for such a short book, like you can kind of understand that. Honestly, as short as this is, I think that this would be a better short story. Like this is only 200 pages, but I felt like it should either be longer than what it is or shorter than what it is. And maybe that's why she's so well known for her short stories. So I am still interested to read more by this author, particularly her short stories. So just because I didn't particularly like this story very much, I'm still interested in like reading more from her. This isn't a bad book by any means, but it is very hard to read at points, and honestly, the most shocking thing about this book is something that, like, no spoilers, but something that, the thing about this is that it's very grounded on reality, that something like could actually happen. So yeah, that was like just like a really long review on it, on such a short book, but I did like it and want to read more by her. Pancake is all over this sweatshirt. I've been sneezing all day. Today I have work. I've been spending all day recovering, but also reading, drinking some coffee from my very spooky mummy mug. I still have the audiobook. I have not gotten like far at all in it. My plan is that when I come home, I'm going to listen to it. So what a great way to end the reading vlog is me working and not doing a lot of reading. Sorry this isn't like more exciting. I hope you guys appreciated the clips that I was brave enough to film at Silent Disco, which I did end up going, and it was a really good time. Highly recommend it if you ever have the opportunity to go somewhere where they have a silent disco. A lot of fun, even though the music they played was like actually garbage. The DJs weren't very good this time. thus concludes this. I will talk to you either later tonight or tomorrow. So yeah. I have a headache, so I'm just gonna go to bed and listen to The Hunger. My 5-hour, 6-hour old coffee. I'm wearing the same sweatshirt I've been wearing this whole time, but I washed it today, so not as gross. So today is the last day of spookathon, and I feel like it's kind of expected that I will not complete at least one book for the readathon, excluding the book that I actually did DNF, because that one I actually did not like and will not be returning to. But I did not finish The Hunger, but I am still actively listening to it. I was actually listening to a little bit of it today. It's just that because it's a slow-moving historical fiction, a lot of the things that they talk about is like creepy, but nothing to really say about it. But I just wanted to do my last update for the readathon. I really loved participating in spookathon. I do think that the biggest thing that held me back was the books that I chose. No Exit by Taylor Adams, by far the best book that I read for this readathon. Actually, probably one of my favorite thrillers ever. And then the other book that I read, Pursuit, not my fave. And The Hunger is good, but I mean, it does fulfill the prompt for a book that I wouldn't normally read. That's probably why I haven't finished it before the end of the readathon. So I could force myself to rush through it on audiobook, but I just don't want to do that. I'm going to finish it, and if you're interested in what I think about it, go ahead and add me on Goodreads, because I'll probably finish it within the next few days. So if you're curious about what I think, I'll try to leave like a detailed review after I'm done with it. Yeah, I am participating in another readathon this coming week, and I did have an audiobook that I wanted to listen to during it, but I think I'm going to skip out on that because I find that reading a book is a lot better because I can like skim read, not have to keep increasing the speed of the audiobook. So I'm rambling. I am super happy that I was able to participate. If you participated, I hope that you also had a really good time. If you did any like spookathon vlogs or anything like that, link it down below and I'll go watch it. This is officially the first vlog that I have completed, which is awesome. I am planning on participating in Night Marathon, which is from the 25th through the 31st. If you have never heard of the readathon before, I'll link it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content from me. Bye!